Classification of doors. Doors can be classified into many types based on the 1. Working operations. 2. Materials used for manufacture, fabrication. 3. Methods used for manufacturing. 4. Components used. 1. Hinged doors. The most common door type is hinged doors. The door is fixed on one side to allow the door to pivot away from the doorway in one direction or the other. The axis of rotation is vertical. Advantage: the advantage is that the hinges used are inexpensive and require minimum maintenance. Disadvantage: this type of door takes precious space to swing in, out. 2. Swing doors. Swing doors are same as hinged doors, but here the hinge can be rotated in either direction. The shutter is fixed to the frame with double-action spring hinges which enables the movement on either side. A slight force will open the door, while the spring action in the hinge brings the shutter to a closed position. This return of shutter will be at a force, so the door has to be fully glazed or put a peephole at eye level to prevent accidents. 3. Revolving doors. A revolving door has a central shaft with 4 wings that hang on it. The shaft rotates around the vertical axis within a round enclosure. The central shaft is fitted with a ball-bearing arrangement at the bottom, which allows the shutters to move without any jerk and making noise. The radiating shutters may be fully paneled, fully glazed, or partly glazed. The door's glass generally allow people to see and anticipate each other while walking through. Vertical rubber pieces are provided at the rubbing end of the shutter to prevent draught of air. 4. Sliding doors. These doors are generally used where there is a place constraint for the swing of a hinged door or for aesthetic purposes. These doors are commonly used in commercial structures. The shutter slides horizontally along the tracks with the help of runners and rails. The door is hung by 2 trolley hangers at the top of the door running in a concealed track, while at the bottom rollers are provided to slide the shutter in the channel track. To ease movement, plastic rollers are fixed at top-bottom. A sensor can also be attached at the top for the door to automatically open, close during the movement of people. Advantage: can be easily cleaned, maintained, very good aesthetic feel. Disadvantage: sound insulation is pretty poor. The quality of materials used indoors and labor should be high. Any faults in fixing may lead the doors to slide out of their tracks and damaging the entire setup. 5. Foldable or folded doors. A folding door is a type of door which opens by folding back in sections or so-called panels. They are made of narrow vertical strips or creases that fold back into a compact bundle. These strips, creases will be hanged from the top, and run on a track. They save space as they do not swing out, in. They are preferable when the additional width is not available for installing a sliding door. However, like sliding doors, foldable doors provide poor insulation. They are also noisy and considered poor in durability. 6. Collapsible doors. These doors are made of vertical double channels 20x10x2 mm joined together with hollows on the inside to create an artificial gap. These channels are spaced at 100 mm to 200 mm apart and braced with diagonal iron flats, which allow the shutter to open, close, giving an appearance of a steel curtain. The shutter operates within 2 rails, one fixed to the floor and the other at the lintel. The rollers are mounted at top and bottom to give equivalent movement in both directions for easier operation. These doors are generally provided for increased safety and protection to property and generally used in garages, workshops, public buildings, etc. 7. Rolling shutters. These shutters are generally used for shops, go-downs. This shutter acts as a curtain, thus preventing protection against fire and thefts, wind, and hails. The shutter is made of steel slabs called laths or slates which are around 1.25 cm thick, interlocked with each other and coiled upon a specially designed pipe shaft called drum mounted at the top. The shutter moves in 2 vertical steel guide channels mounted at the ends. The channels are made of steel sheets, deep enough to accommodate shutter and to keep it in position. A horizontal shaft and spring in drum allow the shutter to be coiled in or out. The door is raised to open it and lowered to close it. On large doors, more than 10 SQM, the action may be motorized. 8. Battened and ledged type. These doors consist of vertical boards called battens which are nailed or screwed to horizontal members called ledges. The battens are generally 15 to 18 cm wide and 2 to 3 cm thick. Narrow battened doors have a better appearance. The above figure towards the left is a battened and ledged door to which braces are added to prevent sagging. These braces must slope upwards from the hinge edge of the door as they are generally housed with a skew notch into the ledges. 9. Framed and paneled. These doors consist of a frame made of stiles, top and intermediate rails. Into this framework, a plywood panel is fitted, which will fit into a groove rebate. Usually, the panel is not glued to the frame but is left to float within it so that the seasonal movement of the wood comprising the panel does not distort the frame. Glazed / These are the same as framed paneled doors, except one of the panels is replaced with a glass to improve visibility of the interior room. Wire gauge door. In this door, the panel is replaced with a wire gauge to provide free air and also prevent mosquitoes, flies, insects entering into the door building. Louvered door. In this door the panels are replaced by a series of louvers, permitting air ventilation, but guarantee privacy to those within. 10. Flush door. Flush doors have solid rectangular blocks of softwood on the inside arranged end to end as the frame, and covered on both sides with a very thin layer of ply about 2.5 mm thick. These doors cannot be used where the door is exposed to rain as the wood may deteriorate rapidly. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For getting more useful and interesting information, to subscribe to the channel.